Hey, we're feeling very festive in the Secret Kitchen today, and we made these absolutely beautiful and delicious Italian holiday cookies. They're packed with citrus flavor and lots of ricotta, and they are going to be so easy you won't believe it. Hang on, because I'm going to make these for you right now. Welcome to the Secret Kitchen, and today we're going to make some cookies. You know, the holidays are coming up. I think a lot of people are making cookies, and this is one of the more popular ones, one of the more delicious ones. These are Italian ricotta cookies, or you might say ricotta. It depends if you're really Italian or if you just look like one like me. In any case, they're delicious. And we're going to change the profile, the flavor profile a little bit, because we're going to make it more citrus forward than anise forward or licorice forward. I do want to thank my good friend Amanda for giving me her family recipe for this. Amanda, the recipe is terrific. Amanda's recipe, all the info below in the description. But meanwhile, in the bowl, I have a stick of softened butter, very soft, because we've got a lot of lights in the Secret Kitchen. We've got I think it's about half a pound, like 15 ounces of ricotta cheese, ricotta. I'm using full fat, use whatever you want. And I'm just gonna get these mixed together. All right, now I'm going to add a cup of sugar. Oh, you know what I do want to mention something to you. I'm making like a half recipe. The full recipe is in the description, and this recipe makes a lot of cookies. So I'm not making the full measure. All right, so I'm adding my sugar, 2 room temperature eggs. All right, so I have this all nicely incorporated. The butter, the sugar, and the cheese. And before I even deal with my dry ingredients, I want to add the zest. This is a large orange. If you don't have a large orange, use maybe 2 mediums. This is the kind of thing where you can use a good amount of the orange zest, because it's going to give you a wonderful flavor. And I'm just going to grate this right in here. So this might not be 100% traditional, but I'm not traditional. All right, here is the orange all grated in here. And we are going to come back to this orange a little bit later. Let's just get all the zest out. Okay. All right, let's give this a mix, scrape down the bowl. Okay, so now let's look at, oh gosh. All right, let's look at our dry ingredients. I've got 2 cups of flour here. And, oh, I have to add my splash of vanilla. I almost forgot. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of kosher salt. And we're going to use, consulting my notes, 4 teaspoons of baking powder. 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And that's 4. And of course I put them in there. I meant to actually put them in with my flour, but you know what? It's all going to be mixed together. It's not terrible. Okay. And let's not forget that splash of vanilla. We're looking at, you know, a good teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla elevates everything. All right, so let's get in here and give this a mix. This comes together super quick. Mix it on low so you don't have flour all over the place. All right, and I always like to finish mixing it by hand because I don't want to overbeat this. The dough is kind of stiff. I wish you could smell this. It just smells like wonderful, the citrus flavor. It's beautiful. I know it's very traditional when you make cookies like this to use maybe some almond extract or some anise, or is it anise? I don't know which one is right. But I've never said that in the Secret Kitchen we were totally traditional. And I'm using citrus because I think it's really delicious. Really a wonderful flavor profile. All right, now, this is it. Here's the dough. So if you can imagine that this is half the recipe, you can only imagine how much the full recipe makes. It pretty much fills up the bowl. So something that I'll share with you, I found it very helpful to refrigerate this dough for a good hour. Even if you made it today and refrigerated it overnight, when it chilled, it was a little bit easier to drop by the spoonfuls. It is not necessary, but if you have time, I suggest you do it. So what I have here, my oven is preheated to 350. My oven is at 350. Got my big cookie sheet lined with parchment paper, and I'm going to use a teaspoon, and I'm going to drop these by the teaspoon. Okay, you do want to leave a little room in between, so let me get this done. I'll show you what it looks like before I put it in the oven. All right, I dropped these by the spoonful. I used a teaspoon. You can make them a little bigger, a little smaller. Again, I'm not being 100% traditional. And I actually have 2 trays this size of cookies that are going in the oven. I still had some of the dough left over, and I'm going to refrigerate this. I'm going to actually make more maybe tomorrow or even a few days down the road. So these are going to go in the oven 350 for anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes, maybe even longer, depending on your oven. I want them to get a little bit brown on the sides, but these are going to be, these are soft cookies. They're not going to get crispy. So I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 12 minutes, and I'll check them if they need any more time. All right, I'll show you what they look like when they're done. All right, my cookies are out of the oven. And remember, I only did didn't even do the full half recipe. It makes a lot of cookies. So these were in the oven probably about 16 minutes. And I just want you to see the bottom is brown, and some of them are a little bit less brown. If you don't want to go that long, that's fine. But I happen to like them a little bit on the crispier side. All right, so we're going to make a glaze. So remember that orange? I went ahead and got the juice out of it. I have about 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm going to mix in some orange juice, and we're going to use that as our glaze. I'm going to start with like 3 tablespoons. You know, you make your glaze as runny as you want it to be. Okay, we need more. A little more orange juice. Whatever's left, you can always drink the juice, right? Okay, and you can see over here I have some sprinkles, colored sprinkles, because traditionally these get glazed and then we put some sprinkles on the top. And that's how we dress these cookies. These are a very traditional holiday cookie. They're absolutely delicious. Let's get a little more. I want my glaze to be a little runnier. This is, you know, you'll do it however you want it to be. It's got that slight tinge from the orange juice too, which I like. All right, so here's what we do. Here's what we do. A lot of different ways you can do this, but let me get a clean spoon. I'm going to glaze some of them for us. However much glaze you want to use, that is completely up to you. Just going to do some of them. Okay. It's good. Tastes like orange juice. And then what I typically do, nice. Okay, and it sticks to the glaze. All right, that's all there is to it. So let's taste one. Chocolate sprinkles would be good too, but traditionally it's more either the sprinkles or the nonpareils. All right, let's take a taste. They look great. They taste great. A little bit of crunch, but they're nice and soft. They're nice and soft and pillowy from the ricotta. And you know what? Get that nice citrus flavor in there, which I personally love. Very good. You gotta try these. These are easy, they're delicious, and you're gonna make a huge amount, as you can see from what's going on here. This was all the cookies I had on 2 trays. You could even make them smaller if you want to. Delicious. Hey, thanks for joining me today in the Secret Kitchen. Please like and subscribe. You keep me inspired, and I appreciate that. We'll see you next time on Secret Kitchens of New Jersey. Until then, get in the kitchen and bake. Memories, clear your mind.
We're rolling.
No, wait a minute. I am not ready to roll.